How's it going, everyone? We're out here today, gonna take out the paddleboard. I'm gonna show you how I set up my 14-foot LIVEwatersports paddleboard, also how I transport it, and all the gear that I think is important to take with you when going out to paddle. Let me just take this thing off and we'll start talking about it. So you just have basic straps kind of holding the paddleboard down. We don't have a roof rack on this vehicle, so I have inflatable roof rack. It straps through the car. Really like this. It's just important to not let it get too hot. You don't want these air tubes to expand too much. Once these are off, we just take down the board and we'll keep going. Fish feeding. So these I just like to store in the car while we're out in the paddleboard, just to keep them out of the sun. I can already feel they're getting pretty tight, so we'll just take them off while we go out in the water. Alrighty, so I got the board and all the gear off the car, out of the car, and now we're gonna go over some of the things that I think are crucial to have on your paddleboard, whether you're just cruising, sightseeing, doing some nature photography, or just getting out fishing, which I do most of the time. These are important things that I recommend that you have with you. Always bring a cooler, have ice, water in here. This makes for a great seat. Elevates you a little bit, that way you don't have to stand all the time. Life jackets, I always make sure to have life jackets on board. I'll have 2 life jackets on board today. I'm taking my wife. She's generous enough to be filming for me today, but that's why I have 2 life jackets with me today. And those I'll just keep on the back of the board, somewhere easy to grab. We'll go over some of the equipment that I have that's particular to fishing. Primarily just a rod holder and a paddle holder. That way I can quickly put my paddle down somewhere secure and don't have to worry about it falling off the board. So this is a really important piece of equipment that I use. This is a rod tube holder. This just slides right into the tracks. You just loosen it up, got some rubber to protect it from any chips. Slide it on, and then you can move it up and down your tracks. If I can get it smoothly, just like that. And then you tighten it on. And I usually like to have it aimed backwards, that way it's just not in my view or in my way in the front. And I can transport my rods just like that while I'm riding around. This makes super easy access to just grab a rod and cast at a fish. Another important piece of equipment is this, which will hold your paddle in place on the board. The way it works is the same way. You'll just slide it on, get it in the track, tighten it down, and then you just put your paddle right in it. And that'll securely hold that while you're getting around fishing, doing anything, just so you don't have to worry about it falling off the board while you're out and about. 5-gallon bucket is also handy, keeps things dry. I like to put my fishing bag in here. Keeps things out of the sun a little bit. And that just sits on the back of the board. I also have these little platforms here that just helps elevate everything, keeps things a little bit drier if some water laps up onto the board here. You might get a little water on the board, but it's never really a big deal. When I am fishing, I like to bring at least 2 rods so I can throw different lures without having to cut and retie. I usually just leave these down on the side. I usually have enough space on the board that it's comfortable and it never really gets in the way. I will be bringing another set of paddles. You usually don't need this, but my wife likes to paddle with your regular kayak paddle when she sits on the front, instead of having to use the paddleboard paddle, which is, you know, alternating sides when paddling. So I do bring this for her, and again, I can just put it into the grip to hold the paddle, or lay it down the side parallel with the boat, and there's usually enough space where it's not too tight. Bringing a cushion is good to sit on. My wife is going to be sitting on this pulling platform on the front of the boat, and this will be for her. Otherwise, I can use this for my own seat in the back. This is just your standard pulling platform. This one's a little bit older, so it's a little bit heavier, but we're on a 14-foot board, which is super comfortable for 2 people to be on, and it can handle this weight. But this is just another great way to have a second person comfortably sitting on the board. Or if it's just myself fishing, I can use this to stand up on, same as like a cooler. If you have a heavy-duty cooler, you can sit on it. And this will just sit right in front of the board, and it's just another great place for someone to sit or stand while you're out in the water. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. Again, this is how I set up my paddleboard for fishing or taking my wife out on the water. If you have any questions about paddleboards, leave some comments. I'm happy to give you my input, my opinion on this board or on other paddleboards. I've seen other people set them up differently, and this is just how it works for me. I will be filming a separate video reviewing this specific paddleboard. This is an L4 Expedition 14-foot paddleboard by LIVEwatersports or LIVEwatersports. I really like it. I'm going to show you the pros and cons, however, of this paddleboard in a separate video. But this is how I set up this board, the important features that I use in day-to-day fishing on this board. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, leave comments. Like, I'm trying to grow this channel. I'm filming a lot of fishing content on the boat, on this paddleboard, trying to grow some viewers. And I hope you like this video. Have a good one.